So I can officially say, as of 2 weeks ago, I captured and experienced my first true disembodied voice ever. To me, the difference between a disembodied voice and an EVP is pretty clear and pronounced. A disembodied voice is something you're going to hear with your own ears, on location, in person. An EVP you will not hear, but your recorder will record it at a volume you should have heard with your ears. We were at Malvern Manor. It was on September 22nd, 2018, in Malvern, Iowa. We've been there 3 times in the past 2 years, and every time we've been there, we've had great activity. First time we were there, we captured a Class A that said, "Let the show begin." Although if you listen on different playback devices, the show word might change interchangeably with shit. Let the shit begin versus let the show begin. The second time we were there, we captured a couple Class A's. One said Jeremiah, the other said Rosanna, which is really cool hearing names. And your EVPs, just, it's kind of like, who are these people? Are they specific to this location? And then, last time we were there a few weeks ago, we captured a disembodied voice that I'm still having trouble wrapping my mind around. Long story short, Brandon Klein was upstairs doing a solo session. Me, Mike, and the other Brandon were downstairs in, I guess, the family room at Malvern Manor, the room next to the kitchen that has all the couches and tables. I don't want to say burnt out on the paranormal, but I've been wanting more. After doing this, monthly for 4 years, 40 to 50 investigations, I've been wanting more than EVPs. And I realize a beggar can't be chooser, and you can't choose your own experience in the paranormal. I'm firmly aware of that. But I've been wanting more, because let's be honest, EVPs are amazing to me, but you don't, unless you're doing a live EVP session, you don't know you captured them until you review your audio. So that being said, you could be at a place, have fun, but not have anything paranormal or questionable happen until you get home and then realize, oh, there was activity. With a disembodied voice, something's going on, like right next to you. So because of that, I was kind of talking to Mike and Brandon, saying like, hey man, I really want something bigger to happen sometime. And as ironic as it is, in a few minutes, something did happen. I was telling them, I haven't had anything huge happen in over 20 years since my Ouija board experiences with Sozo. And Mike was telling a story about how he did an investigation. I think he said he was provoking, and got home, and apparently he feels something followed him home, because he started hearing this loud commotion in his bathroom, and he thought it was his brother coming home drunk, and went to the bathroom, noticed the bathroom was totally torn up, but his brother wasn't there. So Mike's telling the story, and he gets to the point of the story where he starts saying how, well, I got on my cell phone and I called him to be like, dude, were you just home? And right when Mike's telling that part of the story, we hear, so Mike was sitting to my left, I was sitting to his right, and then like 5 feet to my right was Mike's recorder. Brandon W. was, I want to say, in the kitchen behind us. So Mike's telling this story, and from his left, it had to have been under 10 feet, maybe 5 to 6 feet away, we hear this moan type noise, and it was loud enough to where it was either in the room with us or maybe right on the other side of the wall, which it was loud. I'm borderline getting goosebumps right now, just it was that intense. And there were 3 of us there, so because of that, it wasn't as spooky. But if you're in a place that's known to have activity and you're by yourself and you hear this, depending on your, constitution or your bravery, whatever you want to call it, you're going to be creeped out. So we hear this voice, this moan type noise, and Mike stops telling his story. I'm all of a sudden thinking, did that really just happen? And I get into debunking mode, and I get up, I go check the corner real quick, looking for like playback devices, if there's any speakers. Don't find anything. Just to be double sure, I went outside real quick, checked on the other side of the wall to make sure it wasn't some type of animal, though it didn't sound like an animal to me. I just wanted to make sure. I wanted to do my utmost abilities to, rule that out. And I didn't find anything out there. So we went inside and we tried recreating it, but it's like, how do you recreate a moan, But we tried, and we never found anything close to acceptable answer for what could have been making it. So at the very minimum, it's highly unexplained. Due to the fact we've been there twice now before that and had great EVPs, I've got to label it paranormal. And it's just ironic how I was talking about how I wanted something bigger to happen, that we capture such an amazing disembodied voice. We didn't have a video going, but we did have audio going. We were kind of doing like a pseudo EVP session. I've found EVPs happen more often than not on their own volition, their own accord, their own choosing. Yes, it's great to ask questions and get real-time answers, which happens, but not that often. But at the same time, most of the EVPs we capture are when we are not doing an EVP session, or if we are, we're not asking questions. So, we weren't really fully gung-ho with our video and stuff at this time because it was kind of like a pseudo session. So Mike's recorder, as I stated earlier, was to my right about 5 feet. Brandon W. had a recorder, but I think his was with him in the kitchen. He was doing something with his gear, I think. Mine was upstairs in the attic because one of the claims is you can put an EVP recorder up there and capture EVPs when you're not up there. So I was checking that out. So we've got 2 recordings. We've got Mike's, and then later on that night, I came downstairs. Went up to the attic, got my recorder, came downstairs, and played Mike's digital recorder and recorded it analog with my EVP or audio recorder. I played it on Mike's, and I put mine there, and it was late. I was kind of tired, and I had it too close, so it's pretty loud and it's bricked. The audio is, but I'll play that one too. But the reason I did that was, let's say Mike's audio recorder gets corrupted, and we lose that file. We just lost, let's say it gets corrupted between the time of recording it and the time of transferring it to 1 or 2 hard drives or Google Drive. So that was my fear, so that's why I did that. But I'll play Mike's here. I wish Mike left a little more meat on the bones of this one. He does have the master file, so obviously we'll be able to get that from him. But the only reason I wanted more meat on it was just to give it more context, because you hear Mike talking about how we captured, he was calling his brother to see if he was ever home, and that's when the disembodied voice happens at a conversational volume, very loud, and then Mike stops talking and it goes quiet because we're like, what in the world? And then that's when Mike clipped the section he sent us. And then mine, like I said, is just recording of his recording. So here's Mike's, and again, this is Malvern Manor, September 22nd, 2018, in the kitchen, the room next to the kitchen, in the corner, kind of like the corner wall between the kitchen would be to your left, the room's here, and then there's another wall here. We were right there. It was right there. So here's Mike's recording.
And I even went as far as to call him and said, "Were you just home and left?"
So yeah, that's it. And I still have trouble wrapping my mind around, what we experienced, because it's really rare to get a disembodied voice. Like I said, I've been doing this 4 years, doing 1 to 2 investigations a month. Every once in a while we take an off month. So I've done, over 40, under 50 investigations. The only thing to me that's rarer than a true disembodied voice, maybe I'm forgetting a thing or two here, is obviously a full body apparition and a shadow figure. But my thing is, in order for us to get communication from wherever these EVPs happen, or come from, whatever their source may be, it's obviously got to take a lot of energy to cross over this plane of existence from theirs to ours, wherever or whatever they are. And I say that because, you don't get EVPs all the time. You can at locations that are claimed to have activity, but it's probably got to take some energy. To do a disembodied voice, and another thing that's rare is probably stuff moving in front of you, or, when you're not there, but you're sure nobody should have moved it. But, so in order for things like that, or a disembodied voice to happen, it's got to take even more energy, in my opinion. And then, a full body apparition or shadow figure, you would imagine if energy is what's required to do that, which it probably is, because energy is, currency for, I guess, action or manifestation to a certain degree as far as I'm concerned. And that's a thought I just came up with on the second, so don't hold me to that. But those types of experiences probably take a lot of energy. So, here's my recording from there. much louder, so I will turn the volume down, but I like it just because it is loud. You know, obviously when we have our anything recorded as paranormal, you want it to be loud. So here's mine.
So I go looking for him. I can't find him in the house, anywhere. And I even went as far as to call him and said, "Were you just home and left?"
That's it. It took me, you know, 4 years for it to happen, but I captured a just totally mind-boggling disembodied voice. Next month, Gateway Paranormal Team, the team I'm in, will be at Garnet Mansion, or Hotel, I'm sorry, in Garnet, Kansas. First time being there. It'll be nice to go to a place that's under 5 hours away. It'll just be me and Brandon Kay. The other two members of our team already have commitments that night, so it'll kind of be like it was a few years ago. And I won't have to drive. Brandon's driving, so I won't be exhausted when I'm there, which will be nice. So thanks for watching. If you've ever had a disembodied voice or anything crazy, you know, especially if you've got it on audio or video, I'd love to see it in the comments. I love seeing really, really unexplained paranormal stuff. You know, that's it. Thanks for watching. Have fun. Go do some investigations and get some audio and good video.